Men, let's be honest for a moment, most guys are getting this completely wrong when it comes to approaching women. They think too much, they talk too much, and they try too hard to get attention. They walk into an interaction already hoping for approval instead of bringing value. They assume that a woman has to be interested first before they even make a move. And because of that mindset, they kill attraction before it even has a chance to begin. The reality is different. Attraction is not something that always exists at the start. It is something that can be created. It grows from confidence, presence, and the way you carry yourself. Even if she looks uninterested, distracted, or focused on something else, the right approach can shift the dynamic completely. This is not about manipulation, tricks, or fake behavior. This is about understanding how people respond to energy, learning to control your mindset, and presenting yourself in a way that naturally draws attention. The core of this is discipline. You control your emotions, your reactions, and your behavior while allowing the interaction to unfold without panic, without chasing, and without overinvesting too early. When you approach the right way, you appear calm, grounded, and confident. That alone separates you from most men. Women notice composure. They notice when a man is not trying too hard. They notice when someone is comfortable in their own skin. And more often than not, they respond more to that energy than to anything you actually say. What you are about to understand is a structured way to approach women effectively, even if they seem uninterested at first. These are 7 steps, and each one builds on the other. When you apply them together, you stop relying on luck and start creating attraction through intention, presence, and control. First, lead with confidence. This is the foundation. Without confidence, everything else becomes weak. Most men hesitate because they fear rejection, or they believe their value depends on how the woman reacts. That mindset alone puts them in a losing position before they even speak. Confidence is not arrogance, and it is not about pretending to be something you are not. It is about being calm, certain, and comfortable with yourself. When you understand that your value does not come from her approval, your entire behavior changes. You no longer seek validation. You no longer look for permission to speak. You simply show up as you are, without apology. Your body language says everything before your words do. You stand relaxed, you make eye contact, your voice is steady, and your movements are controlled. These small signals communicate security and presence. Women pick up on these cues instantly. A confident man does not rush. He does not fidget. He does not over-explain. He speaks clearly and with intention. And most importantly, he takes initiative. He walks up, introduces himself, and engages without hesitation. Even if she seems uninterested at first, confidence alone can shift her perception. And if she is not receptive, he does not fall apart. He stays composed, smiles, and moves on. That level of emotional control shows maturity and strength. Confidence is not about forcing an outcome. It is about holding your frame regardless of the outcome. Over time, this habit changes how people see you. You become someone who is not easily shaken, someone who has standards, someone whose attention has value. Second, command attention. This is about how you show up in a space. Most men try to stay unnoticed. They shrink themselves, avoid eye contact, and act like they are just hoping to be accepted. But attraction does not work like that. You do not need to be loud or aggressive, but you do need to be present. Commanding attention means carrying yourself in a way that people naturally notice. It starts with posture. You stand upright, shoulders back, head up. You walk with purpose, not hesitation. Your movements are deliberate, not rushed. Your voice is clear and steady, not shaky or quiet. When you enter a space, you are aware of your surroundings, but you are not intimidated by them. You interact naturally without trying to impress anyone. Women notice this kind of presence. It signals that you are comfortable, grounded, and in control of yourself. Commanding attention is not about seeking validation. It is about maintaining a consistent level of energy that shows self-assurance. When you approach a woman from this state, it feels different. You are not asking for her attention. You are offering your presence. That shift alone changes the dynamic. Even if she was not interested before, she becomes aware of you. She starts to notice you because you stand out without trying too hard. This step also allows you to control the pace of the interaction. You are not reacting to her every move. You are leading the flow. And that leadership is attractive. Third, create curiosity. This is where most men make a major mistake. They try to impress by saying too much. They reveal everything about themselves in the first few minutes. They think that more information equals more attraction. But the truth is the opposite. Curiosity is what keeps someone engaged. It is what makes them want to know more. When you reveal everything too quickly, there is nothing left to discover. Creating curiosity means holding back just enough. You share, but you do not overshare. You speak, but you do not over-explain. You answer questions clearly, but you leave space for her to wonder. There is a subtle mystery in the way you present yourself. You are not hiding anything, but you are not putting everything on display either. Your tone, your expressions, and your energy all contribute to this. You remain calm, slightly reserved, but still engaging. You might use humor or light teasing to add personality without giving away too much. This creates a pull. She starts to think about you. She starts to ask questions. She becomes invested in understanding who you are. Curiosity turns indifference into interest. It is the bridge between being ignored and being noticed. When combined with confidence and presence, it makes you compelling without needing to chase. Fourth, engage playfully. Attraction is not built through seriousness alone. It grows when the interaction feels good. Many men approach with too much pressure. They try to be perfect, they try to impress, and they make the interaction feel heavy. But people connect through positive emotion. Playfulness creates that emotion. It makes the interaction light, enjoyable, and memorable. This does not mean acting immature or trying too hard to be funny. It means bringing a relaxed, fun energy into the conversation. You might tease lightly, make a witty comment, or respond in a way that shows creativity and confidence. You stay aware of her energy and match it slightly, but you do not lose your own frame. Playfulness shows that you are comfortable. It shows that you are not desperate for a specific outcome. It creates an environment where she feels relaxed instead of pressured. Women remember how you make them feel. If the interaction is enjoyable, that feeling stays with them. Over time, that positive association builds attraction. This step also shows social intelligence. It shows that you understand how to communicate in a way that feels natural and engaging. When you combine playfulness with confidence and curiosity, you create a powerful dynamic that keeps her interested without forcing anything. Fifth, show value through action. Words alone do not create real attraction. Anyone can talk about themselves. Anyone can claim to be confident or successful. What matters is what you show through your behavior. Your value is reflected in how you live, how you speak, and how you handle situations. You do not need to brag. You do not need to list your achievements. You simply demonstrate competence, clarity, and direction in the way you act. You make decisions without hesitation. You communicate clearly. You handle situations calmly. You show that you have a life outside of the interaction. Women notice this. They notice men who are focused, who have goals, and who are not dependent on their attention. Even small actions can signal value. The way you plan something, the way you respond under pressure, the way you carry yourself in a group setting. These details matter. When you consistently show value through action, you build respect. And respect is a key part of attraction. Even if she was not interested at first, seeing your behavior can change her perception. This type of attraction is stronger because it is based on reality, not just words or charm. Sixth, be emotionally dynamic. Being calm and controlled is important, but being completely flat is not attractive. Many men become too predictable. They respond the same way to everything. They show no variation in energy or emotion. That leads to boredom. Emotional dynamism means having range while still staying in control. You can be calm, but also playful. You can be serious at times, but also light and expressive. You can shift the energy of the interaction when needed. This keeps things interesting. It shows that you have depth. It shows that you are not just reacting, but actively engaging. This is not about being inconsistent or playing games. It is about being alive in the interaction. You might change the topic suddenly, introduce a new idea, or express genuine excitement about something. These small shifts create intrigue. They keep her attention. They make the interaction feel dynamic instead of repetitive. Women are drawn to men who feel interesting and engaging. Emotional variation creates that feeling. And because you are still grounded and controlled, it does not come across as unstable. It comes across as confident and expressive. Seventh, escalate with intent. This is where everything comes together. Attraction needs direction. If nothing moves forward, the interaction stays stuck. Many men fail here because they hesitate. They wait too long to show interest, or they go too fast without paying attention to her response. Escalating with intent means moving things forward in a natural, confident way. You increase engagement gradually, you maintain eye contact, you use tone and body language to show interest, you introduce light physical touch when appropriate and welcome. You lead the interaction without forcing it. Timing is key. You pay attention to her reactions and adjust accordingly. When done right, escalation feels smooth. It does not feel rushed or pressured. It shows that you are confident enough to take initiative. It shows that you are aware of the moment, and it creates momentum. Even if she seemed uninterested at the start, this step can change the entire dynamic. It brings everything together into a clear direction. It turns a simple interaction into something with potential. In the end, approaching women effectively is not about luck or tricks. It is about mastering yourself. Your confidence, your presence, your behavior, and your actions determine the outcome. Even if she does not seem interested at first, the way you show up can create the conditions for attraction to grow. Confidence gives you a strong foundation. Commanding attention makes you noticeable. Curiosity keeps her thinking about you. Playfulness creates positive emotion. Showing value through action builds respect. Emotional dynamism keeps things engaging. And escalating with intent moves everything forward. Underneath all of this is discipline. You stay in control of your emotions, you focus on what you can control, you act with consistency and purpose. When you combine all of these elements, you stop chasing and start attracting. You become someone who naturally draws attention, not because you are trying too hard, but because of how you carry yourself. Approach with confidence, lead with presence, and act with intention. When you do that, even initial indifference can turn into real curiosity and attraction.